Welcome back to the Something Cafe.
Found my old game today, dusted off, block away. Creepers back, night and day, pixel world here I say. Mining deep, cave so dark, sword in hand hit my mark. Building towers, see the sparks, from the start left my mark. Block by block in my land, golden dreams in the sands. From the night till it's day, Minecraft love here to stay. Zombies grown, I don't care.
You guys already know what you're here for.
Craft my dreams everywhere, pixel skies I will stare. Block by block in my land, golden dreams in the sands. From the night till it's day, Minecraft love here to stay. So you know where I'll be, crafting worlds wild and free. Cobblestone destiny, Minecraft love here to stay.
All right. Listen to that jam. That right there was Block by Block by AI. If you did not catch the theme or the message of that song, I'll give you a second, but I'm about to tell you. Think about what the prompt might have been, right? If you would have guessed a pop punk song about a guy who started playing Minecraft again and he's loving it, you win a free bar tab here at the Something Cafe. That is correct. Now, take a wild guess who that guy is. You're right, it's me. I have every 20-year-old or every male in his 20s will also tell you that every like 3 years or whatever, he will get the itch to start playing Minecraft again. I have that itch, and I don't got no Neosporin. You hear me? Welcome back to the Something Cafe, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Celestino Dooley. This is episode 28 or 29. I don't know, and I don't care, because this morning, beautiful Saturday morning, it is currently 11:41 a.m., and I think I have a pretty cool guest coming on next week. Can't confirm anything yet, but we are getting close. Why did I choose pop punk for the AI song this morning? Because last night I got done DJing a Y2K party, and lots of people coming up to my booth. You know, can you play Dear Maria? Can you play Avril Lavigne? Can you play Skater Boy? Can you play Tattoo? And that song that I just played was kind of tattoo-ish. You know, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. Like, I don't care how masculine you are. You listen to all the things you said by Tattoo, you start wanting to paint your fingernails, brother. That right there is a damn truth. A damn truth. So, guys, last week, or I don't know if it was last week, but recently, Apple Music came out with a very bold announcement. Apple Music 100 Best Albums. That's a pretty bold claim, if you ask me. Not even a. I haven't even gone over any of the any of the contenders. Just the fact of them making a list is bold. That's bold, brother. That's bold as hell. But you know what? Someone had to do it at some point, right? Was it 2024 the time? I don't know. Obviously things are going to change, right? I mean, we're like we are going to have another top 100 albums ever because that's what this list is. It's Apple Music 100 Best Albums. This is what they consider to be the 100 greatest albums. And 5 years from now, it could look different. 50 years from now, probably 10 songs on here might survive. I don't know. Or albums. So I'm gonna spare you guys some time. I'm not gonna read you the whole list, but I will throw out some albums that maybe would be interesting to ponder on if it's worthy or not, and then I will go through the top 15. But they have a little blurb here. Let's go ahead and read this. So we got Apple Music 100 Best Albums. Welcome to 100 Best Albums, our definitive list of the greatest albums ever made. Assembled with the help of artists and experts, it's a modern love letter to the records that have shaped the world we live in and listen today. To stream full tracks or add these albums, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Wow, I'm excited. I already see some that I'm not super keen on. Starting right off, so number 100, we have Body Talk by Robin. 99, Hotel California by the Eagles. And number 98, Astro World by Travis Scott. Astro World above Hotel California. It depends on how old you are. And I'm 21 years old. Obviously, I wasn't there for the Eagles. But Hotel California is like that's a popular track, brother. Astro World is also popular. I like Hotel California better than Astro World, but it's that thing where it's like, there's a point where you have to, because think about what this list is accomplishing, right? We all could like Hotel California better, but more people like Astro World. It's a weird one, eh? Rage Against the Machine, Lord, Confessions by Usher, I think should be a little higher than 95. But hey. Burial, Solange, Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator sitting at 92. Not mad about that one. George Michael, AC/DC Back in Black sitting at 90. We got Lady Gaga. I Put a Spell on You, Nina Simone at 98. I'm glad it made it. I'm glad it made it on there. Massive Attack, Mary J. Blige sitting at 86. Casey Musgraves, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style at 84. That album absolutely had to be on this list. That is like, talk about West Side hip hop. I mean, there you go. Really fun cover art too. I've always admired that cover art. I'm not really into the whole sexual innuendos for anything, but what I appreciate about it is it's not something that I appreciate about older hip hop cover arts is there were obviously pretentious ones back then, but I feel like a lot of them nowadays are just kind of pretentious or boring on purpose. But the Doggy Style cover art is just a fun, colorful, not symmetrical kind of comic looking cover art. We got Horses by Patti Smith, Get Rich or Die Tryin', 50 Cent sitting at 82. After the Gold Rush, Neil Young, the Marshall Mathers LP sitting at 80. Yes, that one absolutely had to be on there. Norman effing Ockrell by Lana Del Rey. Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Madonna, Like a Prayer. Bad Bunny, Un Verano Sin Ti. Now here's where I've got to be careful. Is my bias speaking? Is my bias speaking? When I think that Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny should be, dare I say, much higher? Maybe a little higher, but much higher? Why do I think that? Look, if you know me, you know I have bias towards Latin music. It's my favorite kind of music. I love this album. This is like probably my favorite album. This is an incredible, this is a perfect, to what I consider a perfect album. By that I mean that joint don't gotta miss on it. Something else magical that this album did is this was the first time in a long time that a Latin album literally broke through, like broke walls. I mean, you had people using the music off this album who didn't even know Spanish was a language. Okay? Like people enjoying Spanish music that don't know Spanish is not anything new. Like that's not even something to mention. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about how like you had freaking, cat adoption centers in the Midwest using freaking Enséñame Bailar on their most recent TikTok. I mean, that was the reach that this album had, and it lasted a freaking minute. It really did. It won a Grammy. I mean, it is an incredible album. Does it deserve to be at 76? I think it should be in the upper 60s. Again, not trying to be biased here, but you've got to understand the reach that album had. I mean, because again, the reason why I say to make a 100 list is a bold claim is like, are we pulling from every country? Are we? Right? I mean, Un Verano Sin Ti is Puerto Rico. So far I think I've only seen the US. I would be upset to learn that they didn't pull like I'm sure there's an album from Indonesia that is worth the 100 spot, right? But just a thought, I mean, that's kind of one of those things I'd rather live in ignorance, because if I found out that they didn't pull from every single country, I would be upset, because that's not true too. I mean, again, the 100 best albums, and you only pull from the US, which again, I'm not saying that they did, but yeah, Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly, 9 Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral, Steely Dan, Aja, SZA, SOS, Kraftwerk, Trans Europe Express. There we go. There we go. There it is. Good. Kraftwerk, Trans Europe Express. For those of you who don't know, this is the path when we break free. This Kraftwerk is a band from Germany that if they did not exist, we wouldn't have electronic music. Now, the Silver Apples were one of the first pioneers in electronic music, but Kraftwerk was not just the pioneer, but the boat Lewis and Clark and their underwear. Like Kraftwerk, we wouldn't have electronic music, we wouldn't have EDM, we wouldn't have techno if we didn't have Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk from Germany. So there we go, guys. We're getting a little, around the globe. And I know I said about two minutes ago that I wouldn't go through each and every song or album, but this is too cool not to. And as you can already tell, I'm not gonna hit every single one. But yeah. Number 70, we got Straight Outta Compton, NWA. So we are now in the 60s. 69, Master of Puppets, Metallica. Is This It? The Strokes. Portishead, Dummy. The Smiths, The Queen Is Dead. De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. Erica Badu, Baduizm. I'm not familiar with that one. The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced? Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Sade, Love Deluxe. The Velvet Underground, and Nico. Arctic Monkeys, AM, sitting at 59. I agree that Arctic Monkeys should absolutely be there. I don't really have any say on if it should be lower or higher, but they definitely deserve that spot. AM, I don't even like rock, and I love that album. Now, AM by Arctic... Okay, my cats are fighting, and I'm really scared they're going to pull a cord. I sprayed them both, and they both started running like two boys that their mom just yelled at them. Okay, AM by the Arctic Monkeys also wins another award for... pardon my French, the most dog shit cover art I've ever seen. It is the laziest, most lame, boring cover art ever for such an incredible album. Up next, we've got What's the Story? Morning Glory by the Oasis, D'Angelo Voodoo, The Cure Disintegration, Rihanna Anti, John Coltrane A Love Supreme, thank God. Guys, when I found this list, I'm not even kidding. That was like my first thought was I really hope that The Love Supreme by John Coltrane is on this list, because for those of you who don't know, that is a legendary jazz album. It is John Coltrane is / was the greatest saxophone tenor sax, I believe, the greatest saxophonist that ever existed. And The Love Supreme is one of my personal favorite jazz albums. Jazz is my favorite genre, so it's one of my favorite albums. And it is truly like a Miles Davis. I don't even know why I'm saying like a Miles Davis. They both were the supreme in during those years. Absolutely incredible album. The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, Prince, Sign of the Times, Kate Bush, Hounds of Love, U2, The Joshua Tree, Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, Drake, Take Care. I hate Drake. I haven't ever liked Drake. Ever. I've never liked Drake. And then when the whole pedophilia stuff came out, every time he comes on, if I'm hitting shuffle on a random playlist and he comes on, skip. I have so many downloaded songs for when I DJ gigs, hundreds, thousands. Not a single one of them has Drake on it. Sitting at 46, we have and I forgot to mention we are in the top 50s. 46, we've got Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus, Bjork Homogenic, Stevie Wonder Inner Visions, Talking Heads Remain in Light, Janet Jackson Control, Outkast Aquemini, Aretha Franklin I Never Loved a Man I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. Love to see Aretha Franklin up in the top 40s. Nas, Illmatic, that should be higher. Do we agree, class? Number 38, we got Carole King, Tapestry. Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. Beyonce, The Clash, London Calling. Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Radiohead, Kid A. May I repeat myself? Should be higher. Kid A is sitting at 33. Dare I say that should be in the top 20s. Then the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. I dig where it is. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I don't know. That's an interesting one. It definitely deserves to be on this list, but I guess when I see it all laid out and I see Billie Eilish above Radiohead and the Notorious B.I.G., it's like I think that's when the bias starts coming in. Here's one that I agree with. We got The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest. A Tribe Called Quest is probably my most played artist ever. Artists, group, band. Number 28, we got Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Agreed. Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin 2. Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at number 6. Agreed. Miles Davis, A Kind of Blue. There we go. 25. There we go. That's good. No discrimination here. I'm glad. Absolutely. Kind of Blue should be there. Number 25. That is good. David Bowie, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. What the hell is that name? Daft Punk, Discovery. Agreed. I am fine with Daft Punk being at 23. Absolutely. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. The Beatles, Revolver at 21. Should be higher. How high? Well, we are only at 21, so. The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Taylor Swift, 1989. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. Joni Mitchell, Blue. Adele, 21. Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited. Jay-Z, The Blueprint. Radiohead, OK Computer. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Beyonce, Lemonade is number 10. So here we are in the top 10. And I'm already kind of iffy. So let's touch on a few I just ran through. The Chronic by Dr. Dre. Absolutely. Pet Sounds, absolutely. Revolver, absolutely. Taylor, I don't like Taylor Swift, but I'm sure she deserves to be there. Good. So, here are the top 10. We've got Beyonce with Lemonade. Number 9 is Nirvana, Nevermind. Amy Winehouse, the woman that, if she existed today, I would use every calorie in my body to go and find her and marry her and make her my queen. Before the alcohol. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, sitting at number 8. Good Kid, Mad City Deluxe version by Kendrick Lamar, sitting at number 7. I'm not mad at that. A very what's the statute of limitations on the word quintessential? That's probably the smartest sentence I've said in a while. What I mean by that is, like, to call something quintessential nowadays, is it? I mean, because we've been calling things quintessential 20 years ago. And in 20 years in the future, we're going to be calling another album the quintessential, right? But Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar is not a quintessential album for hip-hop. Modern hip-hop. Not trap, right? For my older folks that are listening, it's not the it's actually good. Yeah, that's at number 7. Number 6, we have Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Here we go, top 5. And this is an interesting list, I will tell you that. Number 5, we have Frank Ocean with Blonde. Now, I have never listened to that album. I've always known it was popular. Like, I have always known that is a banging album. Never listened to it, though. And seeing it at number 5? Think of all of the albums I just named you. Think of all the albums. All the artists. And Blonde, which came out, shot in the dark here. I want to say like after 2005. That's a good little range. Number 5. I guess I ought to give. I almost slipped into like an Australian accent there. I guess I ought to give a listen to it, mate. Number 4. Can anybody guess? We got Prince with Purple Rain. Agreed. Number 3. We got the Beatles, Abbey Road. Agreed. Number 2. We've got Michael Jackson, Thriller. Agreed. And number 1, ladies and gentlemen, I am not mad about this. Great record. Great record. I listen to more records below this one, more than this one, but this is an incredible record, and I am okay with it being at number 1. We have, that's right, Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So there's your top 100s. That is a list. That is a list. The link to this will be in the description of this episode, so you guys can check it out for yourself. What a list. Let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree with anything. If you have a disagreement with one of my thoughts, please let me know. And if there's any that you think should probably not have been left off. I could think of a couple. Just off the top of my head, I have 2 that I'm thinking about. First, we have the album by The Strokes, The New Abnormal. That is my favorite album of all time. Now, if you know anything about me, you would think to yourself, what? Celestino Dooley, the host of the Something Cafe podcast, his favorite album is an alternative rock album, The New Abnormal by The Strokes? You would be correct, sweetie. That album is not just perfect, it is immaculate. And it has a lot of emotional tie to myself. It was the album that I was listening to when I was moving here to Florida, which obviously was like the turning point of my life, moving here to Florida. That album, I mean, there's not a bad song. There's not a bad song, and even better, every song flows into the other. The only way to listen to the album, and I refuse, listen to me, I refuse to listen to that album in any other way except from starting from the front and going all the way to the back. And if I know I will not have enough time to listen to the whole thing, then I won't listen to it. This is true. And I also have to know when to listen to it. I don't ever I don't have any of their songs, just I don't have like 2 songs off the album in a playlist here and there. No. I have that album contained. It is its own thing. It has its own heartbeat. And I will only listen to it when I know I have enough time to listen to the whole thing. Road trips, long drives, stuff like that. Another album that so The New Abnormal, I think it should belong on here. But this next one I'm going to say should have been on here. The Buena Vista Social Club by the Buena Vista Social Club. That album is, I'm going to use it again. Did I just learn the word quintessential last week and I'm using it a lot? No. I learned it a couple weeks ago and I'm using it a lot. The Buena Vista Social Club album is the quintessential album. I mean, it is the Cuban American, Latin American album of, I believe, the 60s, the 70s or 60s. And that album, the making of it, the history, the songs, the music, what it did, what it does, well, what it do, shoddy boo, like it is an incredible album, and it should have. I mean, top 100's a long list, brother. It should have been on here, in my opinion. Let me open up Spotify real quick, guys. Let me just go through. Let me just go through some of the albums I have saved, and I promise you, I'm really gonna try not to be biased here. All right, here are the albums I have saved. We have The Death of Slim Shady that came out just last week, Motomami by Rosalia, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Notice how there were no soundtracks on that list. If any soundtrack were to make it on the top 100, it would be that one, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. When I say soundtrack, I'm not talking about songs, like instrumental songs that play when the mom is giving birth. I'm talking about actually made songs that were made for the movie. Gemini Rights by Steve Lacy. I think that one should have been on there. Great pop indie kind of album that had a couple songs hit billions of streams within the week that it came out. Remember That You Will Die by Polyphia. Unfortunately, that one won't make it on there. I think it could if it was more popular. It is a awesome rock album. There's the Buena Vista Social Club. We got some more Latin rappers on here. I'm surprised more Travis Scott or like any current rappers weren't on there. I'm looking at Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin right now and Utopia by Travis Scott, right? Let's see what else. Looking at things like Elvis Crespo, Suavemente, arguably one of the most popular albums of, Latin history. But it didn't make it on there. But yeah, guys, I think that is a pretty cool thing. So again, we will have the link to the list in the description of the episode. What do I mean by that? Just go, just pick your phone back up, or and click the details on this specific episode, and the link will be there for you to check out at home for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, let me take a sip after that one, brother. As you guys know, if you guys listened last week, I missed my barber appointment as I was recording the episode. I have it tomorrow. So since I'm like trying to keep my hair short, I am gonna be doing like reoccurring appointments with him, which will just hurt my bank account even more. But I guess it's necessary. Talk about bank account, man. I've been trying to come up with some freaking business plans recently. I've got one that I've been thinking about for a while that I think I'm gonna start running up soon. But yeah, dude, basically, I get my first paycheck of the month, and then my second paycheck of the month is just rent. And I've added a few more payments. I've got the barber. I've got a car payment now. And I've been cutting a lot out of my life recently. A lot. I've been cutting a lot out. And just trying to make ends meet. But hey, you know what they say? The turtle's born with the shell. You know what I mean? Speaking of awkward, dude, I had the most awkward interaction yesterday or like the day before. Um Look, I'm good at improving. I'm very good at improving. I don't like saying I'm good at things. That's one I'm gonna be. That's one I'm gonna let slide. My improv skills are incredible, and with those skills, I can get myself in and out of any conversation, except if it's with a girl who weighs around 200 pounds with black hair and potentially has Hispanic heritage. All my skills go out the window, and I become a mess. And my phone reaches towards, and my hand reaches towards my phone for the Cash App, for the Cash App app, for the jeweler that I'm at to use Cash App to buy a ring for this lady, and all my improv skills go out the window. You know what I mean? So this is a situation where I was at work and I was in the break room, and we share a break room with another department, which makes no freaking sense. Okay, that's stupid. Okay, hey, company that I work for. That if this were Family Feud and I was Steve Harvey and I were black, I'd say, "Show me a stupid idea," and it would go ding, and the card would say, "Sharing a break room between two departments." Because when the other department throws parties or events, guess what? The whole break room gets used. And we have like 2 chairs and half of a table. And trust me, pardon my French, I'm not a dick about it, but I do got a little bit of the sassy pants from my mother. My mother will make you feel bad at her own funeral. She is the queen of emotional manipulation, which is a good thing. Let me just say that. Growing up, least favorite part. But as I got older, I was like, there's something to learn from that. But when they throw parties, and they take up the whole thing, brother, I will deliberately go over to their side and sit at their table with the table cover and the foods and the streamers, and I will sit right there with my 2 soggy quesadillas I made the night before and watch anime. Because I'm out here trying to make a point, brother. You hear me? So I'm in the break room. Normal day. Nothing special going on in the break room. Especially not from our department. We don't do parties or celebrations. We do surprise donuts in the morning that get eaten by a big Jamaican, or we take it upon ourselves to get pizza, which is awesome. Me and my coworker Frank are sitting in the break room, and one of the older ladies from the other department is in there too. She's talking to some of our other coworkers. Now, this lady is probably like 50 something years old, and 50. I would say like 55, maybe. Let me just say, Charles Darwin anticipated this kind of phenomenon where if for some reason in another life, or maybe even this life, if her and I saw each other at let's say like a Halloween party. I'm 21. She's 55. I'd even say she's 56. Let's say we saw each other at a Halloween party, and I was feeling a little confident. Got a little pep in my step. I'd be lying to say I wouldn't shoot. That is a bottle of wine that has aged perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. The bottle of wine is aged for sure. That's there's no secret to it. But I don't mind a little rosé every day, if you know what I mean. So I'm like, I already have a good relationship with her and like some of the other like I've got a thing with and for older Hispanic ladies where I would like to say I kill it. I could be completely not self-aware and could be the most annoying person in the world to them and think I'm some friggin' cocky son of a gun, but no, I think I do pretty well with them because I know there's really nothing to lose and I can be kind of cute with them and make them laugh like, "Oh, like it's your birthday? Oh, 30 34 30 30 ha 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 ha." And I'm on the will. That right there is getting on the will right there, brother. You're in a tight pinch for money. Sauce up one of them viejas. Get yourself on the will. When she heads out, brother, the money heads in. So we're sitting in the break room, Frank and I, and there's like 3 older Spanish ladies on the other side of the break room talking. And I'm pretty cordial with them like every day. I don't always talk to them, but like if we're just sitting there in silence, I'll say something. They all know I like to talk. I think they enjoy talking to me. I don't know. They're talking about SeaWorld. Now, if you listen to the episode with my mother a couple weeks back, you will know that my mom spontaneously in her sleep bought a platinum year membership to SeaWorld for our family. Uh, you know, probably one of those things you want to consult with me first for. You know, what if I'm allergic to SeaWorld? I'm not, thankfully, but what if I am? So they're talking about it, and the other 2 ladies head out, and I'm sitting there. I've took out my earbuds. I'm kind of getting ready to stand up and go back to work, which is rare for me. I usually just wait till Frank stands up, and even then I'll give her 5 to 10 minutos. So the other 2 ladies leave, and she's just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm just gonna start talking to her. Conversation didn't hurt nobody. So I start to say, hey, so how often do you go to SeaWorld? And she looks at me. She looks at me like there's a hole in my head. She's like, SeaWorld? I'm like, I'm just thinking, yeah, what you were the whole thing you were just talking about for the last friggin' 15 minutes. I said, yeah, I heard you have like the annual pass. I recently got the platinum pass. I didn't know if you knew anything good to do over there. And that's when I knew that this train wasn't just not going, but all right, what the hell? That's a flattering shot. Look at that. Yeah. So I'm like, so I heard you have the pass. I got the pass recently. I didn't know if you had anything that know. I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm just trying to be nice. Hopefully, trying to find out if she has a daughter or perhaps a granddaughter that is around my age. And again, she looks at me like I spoke to her in Arabic. And Frank puts his earbuds back in because he starts laughing because he knows I just dug myself into the most useless hole ever. So I was like trying to save it. Like, oh yeah, okay. So like one thing is I went to this one restaurant where like the whole wall was like a big old Shark Tank. So I got up and I showed her the photos. Oh, cool, yeah. I was like, yeah, it was really cool. Like, have you ever been there? Oh, no. I was like, okay. Um, do you know where like the stingrays are? Yeah. I am just burning rubber at this point. And that's when I'm like, all right, time to eject. It's not an important conversation, but it's one of those stupid conversations you have just to be nice, and talk to people. So I was like, okay, I just need to make her laugh and then I can leave. Like that's a fine that's a fine ending where by laughing you can kind of deduce that the conversation can be over, right? So I try to tell her the story of like my mom buying the platinum annual pass in her sleep, basically. Just I didn't draw it on long. I was just like, yeah, and like I got the platinum pass because my mom like she thought about it for like 5 seconds and bought the highest tier. Something that would at least make someone go, oh. She might as well been a tree. And that's when I was like, I just gotta abort ship right now. So she finally heads out, and when the door closes, I look at Frank. I'm like, dude, what the hell just happened? He started laughing. Frank said, you took off on the plane very well, but you also landed the plane very well. More well than I thought that plane was going to land. I was like, me too, brother, me too. Speaking of older women, I play video games, as you could tell from the start of this podcast, and there's a franchise called Borderlands that I really like. Really cool video game. It's got a couple games in the series. I think it's got like 5 actually. It's a pretty awesome game. And they are coming out with a movie because nowadays it's impossible to make anything original. It has to be a remake or a reboot or a reshoot or a repoop or something, right? Book to movie, video game to movie, video game to book, book to game, movie, whatever. So Borderlands, the movie, it's coming out sometime in 2024. Should be soon. It probably already came out. I don't really know. But the reason I want to bring it up is I want to look at the cast, right? And you know what's upsetting? So we've got we certainly have some A-listers here, right? Gina Gershon, Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Bobby Lee, which I'm excited. I like Bobby Lee. Jamie Lee Curtis, the most lesbian woman ever. Jack Black. We've got Haley Bennett. Who else? Who else is on here? I mean, everyone else is still famous, but nothing put on the billboard. But yeah, what is the thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about how, as much as I love some of these actors and actresses, like Kevin Hart, I like Kevin Hart. I think he's funny. I like some of his movies. Them putting Kevin Hart in this movie single-handedly made me not want to watch it. What do I mean by that? Like I said, I like Kevin Hart. I do. But every movie Kevin Hart's in, Kevin Hartifies the movie. Right? Do you get what I mean? It Kevin Hartifies the movie, where it's like the moment he's in the movie, you know exactly what the jokes are going to be, what the funny parts are going to be, what he's going to say, what he's going to do, the faces he's going to make, the way he's going to react to things. He's going to be, the stuff that he does, like, is that a time machine? What the hell is a time machine doing here? And it's just, I like Kevin Hart. I do, but damn it. It kind of ruins it for me, dude. It really does. because now the whole movie is going to feel like every other Kevin Hart movie. Jack Black isn't a physical actor. He's going to be playing the character of Claptrap, who's he's like a funny looking robot character. Really funny character in the games. It was like the first time something in a video game ever made me laugh. Like, it was funny, right? Again, I like Jack Black. I think it's going to be fine because, again, he's not like going to be physically there, but there we go again, right? It's like, I feel like I'm just going to be watching Jack Black. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really care for Jack Black. He's funny, but it's kind of that thing. I get the same feeling with, like, if you know the comedian Bert Kreischer, funny dude. Jack Black, funny dude. But they both have their thing that they always do. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on it for Jack Black. For Bert, it's his laugh that I'm like, he has a funny podcast with Tom Segura, who is awesome. I can't listen to it. I'm an avid podcast listener. I listen to podcasts when I'm pooping. I can't listen to their podcast. Why? Because Bert Kreischer, his thing that happens every 5 seconds is his laugh, which is fine. It's a comedy show. I'm hoping someone's laugh, but it's his laugh. This is his laugh every 5 seconds. Dude, it's gonna hurt so bad. It's like, and I'm gonna be looking. Oh my gosh. It is every 5 seconds. It's funny the first time. Like, what the hell is this dude's laugh? Like, what the heck? Right? Dude, after the 5th time, and he does that laugh, he gets himself to that point of laughing where it like strains his voice so much that he goes that high. It's unbearable. It is. It is an unbearable laugh, and I can't listen to it. And I get the same vibe from Jack Black. Nacho Libre, solid movie. I didn't watch the Mario movie. School of Rock, awesome movie. But I don't like it when actors and actresses tropes will duplicate themselves in movies. You know, Jack, but in a you know, I don't know, you know. We got Kate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sure they'll do great. You know, but yeah, dude, I mean, just Kevin Hart, man. I love him, but I'm not even gonna lie, he ruins movies for me. He really does. He really does ruin movies for me. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this turns out. I might see it. I might, but I don't know. I don't really watch movies. The link to the list of the cast will be in the episode description in case you guys want to check it out. I like Bobby Lee. You guys know that I love Bobby Lee. I love his podcast he does with Andrew Santino. He's not a great person though. I said that last week. He is, which, you know, I mean, that's a little I won't. It's not going to be good vocabulary, but like it's a little wrong for me to say I don't love him because, you know, we, as much as we want to think we know these people, we don't. So I love Bobby Lee on the podcast, but sometimes the way he handles things or the way he says things or the way he treats people, blah, 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 it's like he is part of my French. I mean, he's a dick. But I've also seen him have some seriously genuine moments, and it's like, you know, we as watchers, as consumers, it is wrong for us to kind of have a for sure opinion on someone unless unless you've seen everything about them and you've met them in person and I don't know, right? So yeah. So I've been thinking about here. Let me take a sip, man. Whew. I've been thinking about a lot of things that can make this podcast better, and one word that I think can make it better is segments. I want to do segments. Segments of what? I don't know yet, but just as a placeholder for today, before I think about stuff that'll actually make people listen to this podcast, we are on Reddit, a scary, scary place. There is a subreddit called Am I the Asshole? It's a great subreddit. People will post their situations, and people will comment and like and and tell them if they are or not are not the Am I the Asshole? So yeah, Reddit Am I the Asshole? I'm just gonna start reading some titles, and if there's one that we see that might be a little good, juicy, we will get into it. All right, Am I the Asshole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of our house? That is way too long of a sentence, and I'm going to need a little longer time to understand what that even meant, so I'm going to skip it. Am I the asshole for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard? Let's check it out. This is from Jimothy. I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought in February 2019. A couple months ago, I bought my first house that had a 2.5, I don't know why I said 2.5, a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in the other, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis, and the whole time has hated that car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. Okay, already I'm going to say this guy is not the asshole. Okay? I tell her tough luck, it's my house, and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple days on a business trip for the small local company. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home but then I realized I didn't see her car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I could make sure I mow the area and keep it clean, and she said not to worry about it because she parked in the garage. I asked how, and she told me to go check it out. Turns out that while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to the car, including the drivetrain, body, and chassis, and all parts, and take it to the local dump/scrapyard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that, and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her that it's done between us and pack her things and leave. I admit I was really, really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer, and as I have all the receipts for all the money I spent, and I have her on my home security cam footage, letting the guys in and watching them take it all. I think I can win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's just a stupid old piece of junk, and she cannot pay back all that money I spent, and I should just let it go. But I've been putting all my time, effort, and money into that car for a year and a half now, and damn it, if I am not going to get justice for what she did, am I the asshole? Wow. Brother, you are not the asshole. That is a crazy, crazy woman. First of all, you are completely right. If you guys caught it in the first half, this is his house. He has 2 acres of land, some barns, must be maybe like a ranch house, right? And a 2.5 car garage that he's been living there by himself. has been using at his own discretion, which makes sense. It is his place. The COVID happened, so he let his girlfriend stay with him, and then she wants to start changing things, and then she took it upon herself to throw out his passion. I mean, I'm not a car guy, but I've had some friends that are car guys. And I don't even have to relate it like that. Like we all have passions. It's like so I live in a studio apartment. So I have a living room, but it's not a living room. It's a studio. It's where I record everything, right? It's where I record this, where I do music. If I had a girl come live with me and I went on on a business trip and I came back and all of my equipment was gone, and in place it was like an ottoman, TV, couches, stuff like that. And I asked her, like, "Hey, what happened?" She was like, I turned it into an actual like living room, and I threw your stuff away." Like, I would do court instantly. Judge Judy would be woken up by me. Dude, you are not the asshole. I don't think it said how long they had been together, but that is tough. Yeah, I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. Dude, that is your stuff. So he has a couple edits and updates here as time went on. I got a call from her mom about 20 minutes ago, and she told me that I was ruining her daughter's life over a stupid car. I told her she ruined her own life. I've been gathering documentation and stuff, and I'm about to head down to the police station and file a report, as suggested by Lots here. Once again, thank you all. Yeah, dude, go for it. Yeah, I don't get this where it's like let her off the hook. She didn't do anything wrong. It's like, dude, like, this is literally such an easy case. Like, she did do something wrong. She took the thing that you've been spending so much time, let alone money, $11,000, like money, into something that he probably finds peace in doing, right? You come home from work, you lay your back on the little shop dolly, you start playing Limp Bizkit over the shop radio, and you get to work for the next 4 hours. Like, this is probably this dude's muse. This is probably this dude's therapy. And she's like, I want to park my Altima inside of the garage. I don't want to park it. I don't want to park my perfect pink Altima that has a bumper sticker on it that says "No driver, please be careful." Hee hee. I don't want to park it in the stinky garage full of cow poop. I don't want to park it there. I want to park it in your garage. I don't care if your life passions in the garage. I want to park my Impala in your garage. Wow. Update. Went to the police station last night, was told to come back in the morning, just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny, big word, brother, and grand theft auto. Hell yeah. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it, as well as the title for my vehicle and my name. They said they will be in contact with all three parties, me, XGF, and Junkyard guys, and soon they will hopefully be able to recover some or all of the car. Just have to wait now. And the final update we have is titled Huge Update. They found my damn car. Nice. The Junkyard guys apparently went in the middle. The Junkyard guys apparently were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask them questions. It was on a forklift, and they were going to put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and they had the title, but obviously didn't have the title for it since they matched the VIN on the chassis and the body to the VIN on my title. It was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but I don't know if it was the boss or whomever or even his specific charge. They also told me they would be looking into the specific They also said they will be looking into the specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. They said they haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet, but they're working on it. I'm just so glad they found my car. Luckily, I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car, so I can use that to prove what parts they had were mine, so I can hopefully get most or all of it back. Police haven't let me take back home yet, as they say it is evidence and or something. So hopefully I can get it back eventually. Thank you all so much for the support and advice. She's gonna be all right. That is awesome. Good deal, brother. You are not the asshole. You aren't. You are not the asshole, brother. That is a diabolical situation. A diabolical situation. We have time for one more. Am I the asshole? One more. Am I the asshole for wanting to go to the funeral of a girl that I helped get addicted to drugs? Holy shit. I don't want to read that one. That sounds sad. Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? Wait. Am I the asshole for pretending to get oh yeah, we've got to check this one out. And this one isn't too long, so that's good. I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad do you have to be? That is not English. I'm going to read this exactly how it is. Like, how sad so you're have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids. Pause. I agree. You know, every kid should be nice, right? Every kid should have manners, but it's like, it's kind of that thing where it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of like getting mad that some kids are riding their bikes in the middle of the road of like a suburb. You know, it's like, dude, they are kids. You did worse stuff. Just but it's no excuse for them being, like rude and stuff at these at these shops and stuff. But it's like, well, actually, he didn't even say that the employees were being rude. It's just adults taking it out on kids. Half the time, dude, they just hired this dude. Like, this dude got hired to do a couple things, and that's it. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we didn't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "Okay, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "Please, no, don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. Oh, man. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't have to fire her. You don't have to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was all like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple times whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I. James will storm in and fires in quotes. And almost every time the person who had come in angry will apologize and say that they don't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? You are not the asshole. You are probably, you probably are, I mean, what did it say? Did she say? Yeah, she's a high schooler. That can mean anything. She could be 14. She could be 18. but you are not the asshole. But the fact that you can do that so willingly and easy, I feel like that could be like I feel like that situation could be like a gateway drug to more incidents in the future that are kind of like, okay, you didn't need to do that. Is that funny though? Yes, that is awesome. That's hilarious, and I agree. Um, there's a difference of like being upset with your order. So, as you guys know, I have a very toxic relationship with Culver's because when I go to Culver's, I want one thing. One thing. I want a large vanilla concrete mixer with, listen to me here, 3 toppings worth of cookie dough and 2 toppings worth of salted caramel. Do you understand how much cookie dough that should be? There's been a good amount of times where they've gotten it right, and it is more cookie dough than ice cream, and I tell you this, I will wed them on the spot. In the caramel and but more times than not, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it is something that's so infuriating. I will go and I'll say, I want 3 toppings worth of cookie dough and 2 toppings worth of salted caramel in a large vanilla ice cream cup. That should be a monster. And I get it. You can't even see cookie dough. And there's 0 caramel. I seriously think they're doing it on purpose. Like, they literally have to be doing it on purpose. They have to. That is the only explanation, is that they are literally doing it on purpose. Because there have been times that it's like, there is no caramel in this. There's barely any cookie dough, and it pisses me off. Now, I would never be a freaking dick to these people, right? Like, I wouldn't go in and just like, can I speak to your manager? Like, I'm a freaking 280-pound dude going in like, my ice cream, it didn't have enough cookie dough in it. I have to go home and play Sonic the Hedgehog, and I want my ice cream. Like, I'm not gonna go in. I am already. My anxiety is already through the roof. The fact that I'm a fat dude in a Culver's drive-thru by myself, getting a monster order. Okay, anxiety is already through the roof. You would catch me dead with 2 left thumbs before you ever caught me going and saying, hey, I know that I'm like kind of a huge statistic here in America for obesity, and I blame all of my problems on it, and it's something I could easily change right now, but there isn't enough cookie dough in here, and there isn't enough salted caramel. Who's going to do the what? I'm not going to do that. So, like I said, there is a difference between being upset with your order and being an asshole about it. My friend, you are not the asshole. You are smart and a little scary, because I'd be interested to see kind of what you might do in the future with this kind of confidence. So yeah, guys, look, thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe. I want you guys to remember there's a lot of ways you can interact with the show. You can leave comments on YouTube. We have social medias, even Spotify. You can literally leave comments on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify right now, let me just say that it really helps the show a lot if you actually leave comments, if you interact with the poll. You don't even have to look at it. Just interact with the episode. If you aren't already following the show on streaming platforms, go ahead and give it a follow. You can find Something Cafe on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can find the social medias. We've got YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. We currently have a video on Instagram that is a quarter away from 1 million views. That is freaking solid. So yeah, guys, look, thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe. Links will be in the description of the episode. merch as well. And thank you. My name has been Celestino Dooley. Yeah. And thank you for stopping by the Something Cafe. I'll grab a cup with you later. Peace.